Group A performing again for the good, bad, and the cuddly season. Thingamabob, Firefly, and Cyclops. Let's talk to Masked Singer. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It, and welcome to my Masked Singer recap and reaction video. I thought we were going to meet a whole new crop of contestants, but no, we have one final showdown with the original Group 1, Group A, whatever you want to call them, performers. So for the third time now, we have seen the Thingamabob, the Cyclops, and the Firefly, and two of them got sent packing, and leaving just one to go on to the finale, I guess, or semifinals perhaps. And then I guess next week we'll finally meet a new crop of singers. They do a different sort of iteration every single season of how they do this. But what's going to be interesting is the person that goes forward to the semifinals, we're not going to now see them for like 6 weeks or something, and we may forget a lot of those clues. So I don't know how it's going to work out for them, but all right, I actually only know one person so far that is going home because I do my reactions live, so I've only watched up to the part where Nick has told us who the first person is going home, but I don't know who's under that mask, and I don't know the second person at all. I have my guess, but we'll do that as we continue. So first up, though, I do want to welcome you to Dan Reviews It, and thank you for finding this video. If you are not one of my subscribers, I would love if you subscribed down below there, or even hit that notification bell. Got all my notifications of my TV and movie review videos, and that, of course, includes my Masked Singer recaps every single week. So, all right, I guess I'll just go in the order of what I know first, and then we'll sort of get back on track with the rest of the show, perhaps, because this person did not sing first, but they were the first one eliminated, and that's really all I know so far. But there was no special guest this week on the program. It was just the regular panel, and my God, talk about filler. There's so much filler in this episode. This could have easily been a half-hour episode of Masked Singer, but they went the full hour like usual, and I mean, it's just filler after filler, and you know, I'm kind of getting over it, to be honest, but whatever. We're gonna keep watching, right? All right. So Cyclops, we're gonna talk about first because that was the first person eliminated. I will say each one did their own solo song, and then at the end of that, they did "I Feel Good" by James Brown together as a group. We didn't get any new clues from that, but we got to hear them sing together, and you know, maybe that helped the voting audience figure out who their favorite was. All right. So for the Cyclops, he said, let me tell you about a surreal moment of my life. And we see him at a bar that has a Michelangelo David head at it. And it looked like he was drinking some sort of maybe blue drink or something. There was a lottery ticket with the number 15 on it. We saw a sign that said podcast, which is, I mean, everybody in Hollywood has a podcast. So that is one of the most meaningless clues I feel like we've ever gotten. He said his favorite musician wanted to feature me on their new album. And then we saw a fiddle player there. So that got me thinking maybe Dave Matthews Band type thing or something. All right. And then he sang Flashdance, What a Feeling. Kind of an odd number, but he's been all over the place. He did Creed, he did Elvis, and now he's doing, you know, a female 80s song, Flashdance. And there was a big spectacle sort of around him during the performance, but he said in the interview portion afterwards, my field of vision is through my soul patch. So I assume there was a lot of things going on around me, but I couldn't really see it. So that was a little bit of a clue to his height, actually, because some of these people guessed, you know, are maybe taller than we thought. So Dave Bautista was Ken's guest because we had that Michelangelo David statue, and then as well, last week we got the meteorite thing that said crashed to Earth in 1988, so we had thought Guardians of the Galaxy type clue with that. Somebody on the panel guessed Chris Pratt. I guessed Michael Rooker in that case. So Dave Bautista is not actually a terrible guess for Ken. Zach Brown was Jenny's thing because of the fiddle, and I guess they have some kind of song about a compass or whatever, because we saw the compass that first week. And then Dax Shepard was what Robin was thinking. So as we got through the episode, we found out Cyclops was first off. So we're gonna just go there. And the final guesses. Some of them kept with what they thought, others switched. So Robin was thinking after that soul patch clue, he thought, well, Dax Shepard is probably too tall for this. But there is somebody who has not only a podcast, but a whole podcast network. They're also, comic book junkie. And so we saw comic books in that first clue package. And he thought this could be Kevin Smith. I don't think that's a bad guess. I don't think it's right, but I think that is a pretty good guess. Jenny stuck with Zach Brown. Ken stuck with Dave Bautista. Nicole thought because of David being by Michelangelo, she was thinking the first name was maybe Michael instead of, David, like Ken was thinking. So she went with Michael Keaton. She thought all the comic book clues were references to Batman and Spider-Man. And then as well, Crash to Earth in 1988. That's year Beetlejuice came out. I mean, that wasn't his first big movie, but I get where she was going with that. All right, but I don't go with any of these guesses. Last week, I was between Michael Rooker and Corey Feldman. I went with Rooker largely because of the Guardians of the Galaxy clue with the meteorite and the Crash to Earth with 88. That was the year that he picked up Chris Pratt's Star-Lord character, or that Star-Lord was born or something. I forget the mythology, but I was listening for the voice this week, and with the Michelangelo clue, I was thinking Ninja Turtles. We already had a turtle in that first clue package, and so I thought, okay, Corey Feldman did turtle stuff back in the day. He did not voice Michelangelo, though. I want to say he voiced Donatello. I'm not well-versed in the Turtles universe, but I know he did not voice Michelangelo because that was Robbie Rist from the old Brady Bunch show. So, but I think maybe this could be leaning us in that direction. I don't think the voice matched up with Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker is actually kind of tall, so I don't think that would work for him either. So my final guess for Cyclops is Corey Feldman. I've been sort of on this Goonies thing the whole time. The first week I thought it was Sean Astin because of the pirate clue. Then I was leaning towards Rooker instead. But then this week, I don't know, with the Michelangelo clue and the height clue and the voice that is, to be honest, not very good. And he does have a singing career. It's bad, and he, it doesn't sell many records. But he did say, one of my favorite musicians asked me to be on their album. So that could be something, I don't know. I'm going to say Corey Feldman is my final guess for the Cyclops. So let's go to the video, to the Take It Off, and let's see who this is under the mask here. All right, who is it? Come on. Oh my God, it's Jorge Garcia from Lost. Oh, okay, well. Now, hold on. Before they even say, some of that does make sense. Because, okay, I don't know what some of these clues, but my favorite musician asked me to be on their album. He was on the cover of a Weezer album called Hurley. Because it was, Hurley from Lost. The lottery ticket totally makes sense, too, because his Lost character won in the lottery. All right, let's hear. He said he loves the show. He's getting choked up. Okay. They're not telling us other clues, though. What are the other clues? I love Lost. I'm such a Lost fan. All right, let's see. The sea turtle in the package is a reference to Lost. Oh, and Hawaii Five-0, filmed in Hawaii. It was... Hold on. So, I'm going to pause it there. They're going to talk about the compass clue in a second. But that's cheap. It was a sea turtle. So we were all thinking turtles, Ninja Turtles, whatever. It was about Hawaii. I forgot he was on Hawaii Five-0, to be honest. And then the freaking Lost was filmed in Hawaii as well. All right. Oh, and the compass itself is just for Lost. All right, let's see. The lottery ticket was a clue to Hurley getting the lottery ticket. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, he did Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David. Michelangelo. Larry David got him the audition for Lost. Did he just say that? Comic book is a clue to Jorge Garcia on Alcatraz owning a comic book shop. What is Alcatraz? That's a show or a movie? I don't even know what Alcatraz is, to be honest. All right, well, I'm stunned on that one. We were all way off, I think. But you know what? Okay, before we move on and before we get to the next performer, I'm actually happy that we are so stumped this season, because some of these past seasons, the people have been so obvious. I like that they're throwing us a few curveballs here. I think more clues did point to Corey Feldman, but all of these clues do make sense at the end of the day, I guess. The Weezer clue, man, that makes me annoyed. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking, I think, like everybody, on the album, meaning performing on the album. No, he was literally, the album cover was a picture of him as Hurley. It makes total sense. I was way off on that. So, all right. Well, we're going to find out who else got voted off here. So it looks like the Thingamabob is going home. So let's actually talk about the Firefly first, and then we'll get to the final take it off moment of the show. So Firefly actually performed last on the episode, but since we know she's sticking around, we'll start with her. So she never shied away from the spotlight. We saw a pink boa, like a feathered boa, a picture of Kanye. She said, "My mom encouraged me to get in front of an audience and chose my neighbors." We saw a fire alarm, scissors, and a tape measure. So, maybe some sort of statuesque woman. We saw a shining star, TNT. And then before we went to commercial, we found out that Jojo Siwa is a good friend of hers. And she sang Attention by Charlie Puth. All right, the guesses from the panel. Robin doubled down on what he thought last week with Keisha Cole. He pointed out all the people that we've seen in these clip packages. She has worked with Tyler Perry. She has worked with Pharrell from last week, and she has worked with Kanye. So, okay, I don't think Keisha Cole's a bad guess. And then Sierra was brought up as well because of a couple of the clues tonight, including the fire alarm. I guess she has some song called that, that they told us about. Okay, so I know Sierra for like Goodies and 1-2 Step, and I'm not getting Sierra vibes from these clues, but I only know like the biggest hits. So for me, I might be a little lost on that. I think Keisha Cole is a good guess. I also still don't hate my Brandy guess, but look, I've been wrong on almost everyone this entire season so far. Everybody in the comments is telling me this is Tiana Taylor, who I have never heard of until 2 weeks ago. But she did my Super Sweet 16. She's also, kind of a brat, I guess. And that's why when she was in the bottom two last week, she like stormed off the stage like a biatch. So I can sort of see that as well. I'm not familiar enough with her really to know all of this stuff, but everyone basically in the comments is saying this is Tiana Taylor. It's Tiana Taylor. So I'm tired of being wrong this season. So I will stick with you guys. And even though she's not going home yet, so I could make another guess and then say Tiana Taylor later, I'm going to go on the record now and say I guess it's Tiana Taylor. And that could change. I don't know. But for now, that's what I'm going with. This season's really got me confused, for sure. All right. So Thingamabob goes home. So let's talk about that. So in the clue package, he said looking back, his family always had each other. He was a cuddly kid. We saw a bull then on a suitcase and a kangaroo, like a stuffed kangaroo. He said he looked to his parents for the biggest move of his life, which I assume probably is to some city for a football team. Then we saw a tug of war. He was like pulling at a rope with himself. And he said he was tugging between his future and his family. And then we saw a wrecking ball come in. So Ken was maybe thinking a Miley Cyrus clue. All right. And then in the interview portion afterwards, he told Nick that with what he does for a living, you wouldn't think he would be good at this. And the song he sang was Classic by MKTO. All right. The guesses on the panel. Robin once again went with Jason Momoa. I'm not sure if there was anything in tonight's clue package specifically that led him there, except for that, you wouldn't think he'd be good at this with what he does for a living, but I don't know. But that's who he guessed last week, so he just basically doubled down with there. And then Dennis Rodman was guessed by Nicole because of the bull on the suitcase and some of the other clues we've gotten. I think this is for sure a sports star. So, anybody guessing an actor or singer, I think this is for sure a sports star. We've been on that path since the beginning, and I still stick with that. So Dennis Rodman is not a bad guess. I think it might be a little on the nose with the bull on the suitcase. And then Liam Hemsworth was Ken's guess because of the Miley Cyrus clue. And also because sort of my family's always had each other. Obviously, he has a famous family, and kangaroos are, heavy in Australia, and he is Australian. So that actually, for Ken, that's actually not a bad clue. But I don't think it is Liam Hemsworth because of the sports stuff. I think there's too much sports going on. So in the final guesses, Ken stuck with Liam Hemsworth. Nicole stuck with Dennis Rodman. Jenny thought it could be Michael Strahan, who is in the sports universe. I think her kangaroo clue is a little bit of, no pun intended, a leap. But she said because he hopped from one job to another famously, she was thinking kangaroo there. Robin had the most interesting guess of the night, I think, with J.J. Watt, who I am mildly unfamiliar with, but he hosted SNL, I think 2 seasons ago now, and I familiarized myself with him because of that, and I learned a little bit about him and his brothers, and then he, along with at least one of his brothers, hosted this NBC show about trivia called College Bowl. So he does have a famous family. I'm not positive, what some of these other clues have to do with, other than, the shields from last week. Robin said the NFL logo is a shield, so that makes sense. But he also thought J.J. Watt because one of his famous moves or something is this, I don't know, the kangaroo something. I forget what he said, but he put it specifically into J.J. Watt's one of his moves. I don't know that much about J.J. Watt on the field, so I can't speak to any of that. So, this is probably wrong, like I've been all season pretty much. But I am going to say, I'm going to stick with my original first week guess. This is a football player. I think it could be Terrell Owens. He was a Philadelphia Eagle, and we saw a lot of Eagle clues that first week. The bell, we saw actually a bald eagle flying. I think there was even another one from that. The Hotel California little Christmas ornament. Well, that's a famous Eagles song from the band The Eagles, not the football team, but still. I think this is somebody from the Eagles. I'm going to go Terrell Owens. Let's see who it is. Let's take it off. Now, if it's a football player, I probably won't recognize him until they say who it is. I think T.O. is black. I'll at least know that. Jordan Mailata. Okay, now, here's another one. Now, look, I'm from Philly. I live a couple hours out of that now, but my whole family, bleeds green with the Eagles. They love a good Eagle. I don't know who this is. I've never heard of Jordan Mailata in my life. The panel seems to know who it is, but I usually question that. Do they really know? So I don't know if he's currently on the Eagles. Let's see. He's number 68 on the Eagles. Okay. Well, look, I knew it was somebody from the darn Eagles. Okay, let's see. Bulldog. The Bulldog was a nod to Jordan's rugby team. Oh, the Canterbury Bulls or something. Okay. And the Eagle in the clue package, we knew that already. Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. I will say, vocally, he had some good range. Tackle box. Because he's a tackle in football. That makes sense. So obviously he's Australian. Listening to this voice. So that was the major move that he was talking about. Not only moving cities for the Eagles, but moving countries. All right. Wow. Oh, he said active. Okay. So he is an active player. Jordan Mailata. All right. Well, look, I sort of fell out on who's on the Eagles since the Super Bowl era, which was a few years ago. So I don't know anything about Carson Wentz, I think, is an Eagle, maybe. or was. I don't know. All right, that's it. We got the clues. I mean, I knew it was somebody from the darn Eagles. I picked wrong because I've never heard of this Jordan Mailata. So, all right, well, there's another one I never heard of. But this season, my stats are rough. I never heard of Duff Goldman. I didn't get... oh, wait, I did get Joe Buck. That was my one. I knew who that was, and I did guess him. So I got 1 for Joe Buck. Or did I? Now I can't even remember. Did I? Yes, I did get Joe Buck. And then Jorge Garcia had no clue on that. So I'm 1 for 4 this season. That is my worst record yet. But all right, well, the season is young. We're going to see what else happens as we move forward here. Wow, I am... all right, well, I didn't know who that was. So I was never going to get Jordan Mailata in my life. So there you go. All right, well, next week we will... I assume finally meet a new group. I mean, Firefly's not going to sing by herself, so I assume we're going to finally meet group 2 from The Good, the Bad, and the Cuddly next week. So be here for that. I will run it down with you. And yes, please make your comments. Who do you think is under the Firefly? I think it's got to be this Tiana Taylor everyone's talking about. I just want to get one right this season, so I'm jumping on board with that for sure. And we'll see everybody next time. Bye.